Right. Let's move to the next thing, which is I think we're going to only have time now to do the champs for the betting, because I've got a call shortly. So let me get this sorted out again. That's made it a smaller. Let's get rid of. Let's put that on that screen so I can see it. So that's covering the chat, so I need someone to keep an eye on that. And look at some results this week and do some betting. So the first game was and played last night. I don't know if any of you saw it. I saw bits and pieces of it, but not all of it.
It was literally at the same time as my game, right? So I had no idea about
I saw bits, and but I only caught a bit of yours as well because I was doing things with the kids and all sorts. But it was 1-2, and we kind of talked about what Andy's choices were for inducements, and he did go Morg in the end, although I didn't think he did that well. I don't think, but yeah, Morg did a thing, so that was all right, I guess. But he wasn't enough really to push it away. And indeed, I think Morg actually kind of stymied Andy, because in the second half, Andy was 1-0 up, so he'd scored on his drive. So me and the rest of the gang kind of thing were thinking, well, it could be an Andy Davo win here. And then on Papanastia's kick, it landed on Morg, or bounced to Morg, and Morg caught it, which kind of ruined Andy's drive completely, because Morg quite obviously was on the LOS, right? So, yeah, it kind of stymied him, and then he got removals, and then he felled some dice, and that was it. And I think what was telling was that Andy was like very sick of this team, and he's definitely not carrying on with it for next season.
I mean, he literally had 3 players and Morg, right? So,
yeah,
I mean, not literally, but he had 3 players with skills, 2 non-skilled players, and a lot of loners.
Yeah.
So, it's not that surprising. I was actually thinking that a good plan is to give Morg the ball. If you want to waste turns, having him hold on to the ball is pretty hard to get the ball off.
I mean, in the first half, I missed the steal. I didn't see that, but then he really effectively screened it off the ball, and Papanassi couldn't do anything, couldn't get to the ball at all. It was well clear.
Andy had a dream of a wizard on it.
Okay. Is that what he used? It must have used it early on, Carmack.
So the ball was on the cage, in a normal standard cage, 5-person, setup and stuff. Yeah. And all the cage corners went down, and then he had a clean blitz with his strength 4 war dancer on it, on the thrower, and then the thrower got KO'd or something like that. So it couldn't have gone better for Andy in that moment, and I genuinely thought he would win the game from there.
That's what I thought as well. Yeah. Once I saw it was screened off, and then I mean you saw the Morg catch as well, right? So
yeah. I mean, it was rough. It was rough.
Then he kind of went into a spiral, and just I don't think he had many elves left really.
That's the thing I hate about elves. If something goes wrong, then it just snowballs into death.
But perhaps more importantly for the betting, as we enter the final few weeks, is who bet on a Davo loss. That time, bet on Papanastia.
Only 2 people went for Papanasti, and that's Danton and Javelin.
Wow. So Javelin can't now win the OCC, but could possibly win the betting, which is we all know is the more important competition for the OCC this season. So that's the first.
I had a feeling. I had a feeling the Orcs could definitely win this, because it is a good matchup for Orcs often, and just because Andy is sort of in a bit of a death spiral with his team, I could just see it happening.
Yeah. No, it wasn't inconceivable at all. It didn't take much for a bunch of Orcs to murder a bunch of Wood Elves.
No. Okay. Next game was Birmingham won.
Was this admin, or was it actually played?
It was an admin. So we can't really.
So it doesn't count.
So it doesn't count. So
no,
the emoji for that one. And I mean, I'm not. Old One might not be playing his last game as well. He's got a lot of real life stuff going on. We don't need to go into what's going on. Suffice to say that he is fine, but they are fine. I don't know. But yeah, so that was an admin win, and hopefully he can play the last game. But in the end, it doesn't really matter because Carmack's crowned anyway without that game counting. So in a way, that's better because Carmack, if you're still on, you'd probably hate to win on an admin, right? Because you want to play the games.
Yes. I also like the fact that Andy Davo lost another game then, because he lost to Hawkster on an admin as well, because he messed up times. So, there would always be that asterisk hovering above my cloud of satisfaction.
Yeah. Absolutely. Okay, next one was not an admin, and that was a 3-0 win to the Wolves of the Cala, which is Javelin. So, I mean, he really made the most of his chances to win, but it's not quite enough this time around. But I think almost, I've not looked at the points yet, and perhaps we can do that at the end, but I think that guarantees his place up, staying up and to play next season. I know Davo's dropping out. So it's even more likely, I think, that Javelin will be staying up this season. But a 3-0 win. So, who bet on Javelin beating Stolberg? I imagine that was quite popular on the card.
Indeed it was, except Javelin did not bet on himself. He went for a draw, funnily enough. But other than that, almost everyone went for him. So in alphabetical order, or not in some cases where I mess it up, Berto, Carmack, Danton, Ethelred,
yes,
Palladius, Galentio, Cornite, and the Spider. And I actually got them in the right order. Hurrah!
Well done. Yeah.
Possibly the first time I've managed to emphasize the entire.
Big drop point by Braculi there.
Yeah, he's really. They have really dropped off towards the end there, haven't they?
Did
have a double victory. Carmack,
big lead at some point.
Yeah, they also went for the draw with Javelin, maybe suspecting that Javelin would make it a draw. But if you look at the actual Spike page, the Deathbringers had the death brought to them with one block guard, claw pom, horns warrior dying, and one
another legend
guard.
dead.
Yeah, one of the two.
Two legends died, as well as a tackle beastman.
Do we know if Stahlberg has put down a decision for next season?
I think he was the one already. I think he won pretty early on.
Yeah. Because I'm bringing I've already said I'm bringing the
boys
humans back, so could be in the division with him next season. I should be in tier 1.
Should be good.
Well, Starbugs getting double demoted, so he'll be in.
Is he in the corner?
He'll be. Yeah. Okay. Well, I definitely won't mind not playing against his team.
Okay, next game we've talked about a bit already, but it was a 2-0 win to you, Carmack. Again, could do you want to summarise the game for us? I mean, I guess it's worth pointing out that at this level, it's always a blow to get the MVP on a dead player, but sort of doubly so for Spider, because his TV is such that I don't, he needs all the points he can get, and to get just 5 SPP out of this game and to end on a dead player is, must be pretty galling, to be honest. So
it sucks.
I feel for you, Spider, for that one. But yeah, what happened in this game, Carmack?
The other thing that kind of sucks also is getting SPP on a loner when you have a naming convention in your team.
Yes.
It's annoying because I took him for the SPP, and I have the Wirely Mantle or whatever that hell the name is. So what happened was essentially my plan was to use Claw and just remove things in the first half. And I removed enough that he just didn't want to engage anymore, and I just scored a free goal, basically. In the second half, he was 3 players down, I was a single player down, and he essentially chose to blitz my, player furthest in, looking from my perspective. Most shallow in from my perspective, furthest in from his perspective, and he committed 2 players to doing that. Plus, he committed 3 players on the line of scrimmage, considering he was outnumbered, and that he had 2 players, 2 skinks, basically holding the ball in the backfield. Stretching a team like that is just not an optimal idea. That just allowed me to outnumber him in all the pockets that mattered. And I was just slowly grinding him down until he felt compelled to make a potato play, which I had my tackle players spread out well. So I stopped that. I went and scored. Stupid Adrian scored 2-0. That's the end of it. So I felt like, he was playing an uphill game. In the second half, but he was doing exactly what I would have wanted him to do. And then it was just it was just a non-game, so to say. In the second half.
But it was done 2-0. Thanks for playing, kind of thing. Yeah. Okay. So, who bet on Comac for that one?
4 people bet on Carmack.
Oh, only 4. Did more people fancy a draw for that one? I think they did, didn't they? I think.
No, actually, it was
Pretty even.
more people bet on Carmack than a draw by 1. So it was like 4 people bet on Carmack, 3 bet on a draw, and 2 bet on Spider. So it's pretty spread out, but most thought that Carmack would win.
There were probably quite a few bets were wishful thinking bets that hopefully Carmack doesn't win, so that it goes down to the wire. Yeah.
Yeah, as I said before the game to Carmack that I hope he doesn't win. I want him to win the division, but I don't want him to win it in the week before the final.
Yeah, keep it more exciting for the fans. Absolutely.
But the people who got the bets right were Berto, Ethelred, I'm sure you can be happy about.
Yes.
Palladius and Galentio.
Okay. Cool.
And that's it.
Palladius in the lead. Okay, and the final game. In fact, we got till 2:30, so we can do some.
I'm gonna have to drop off, but
right, that's fine.
But yeah.
Okay. Cheers, Danton. Are you going right now?
I can give it another couple of minutes.
All right, cool. Okay, this is your game, Cornite, which, as you only played last night, hopefully you can remember as well.
Yeah.
So 2-2 draw. So what happened?
I massively outplayed Ant-Man. Played brilliantly, and he was lucky to get his 2 touchdowns, both of which were dodges and GFIs at the end.
Oh, really? Genuinely?
No, not genuinely. Oh. I mean, so I wizarded, got the ball, and scored pretty early. I almost stopped him from scoring back in the first half, but he did quite a nice push play, but still left him with 2 dodges and 2 GFIs, which he made fine without even needing to reroll. And then in the second half, I scored pretty not that quickly, I think.
It's worth mentioning that it's Ant-Man, so anything that's not a draw, I think, should be surprising.
Yeah, I guess. But then he also did a couple of dodges and a couple of GFIs at the end to score against me for that. But in the second half as well, no. So he must have gone first. Wait, no. Yeah, no. I turned him over the first one. Yeah, that is right. Yeah. And also I would have. I think I didn't have a terrible chance at the one turn, but snaked. So it could have been 3-2 to me.
Oh, what a shame.
But on the other hand, to actually try and be slightly objective, I had a massive run of luck around turns 12, 13, and 14, where just everything went my way. And I really, I'd kind of potatoed a bit in the hope of, keeping the ball here at his end of the pitch for a little while. And not only managed that, but then managed to stall out for a few turns. Risked stalling out maybe a turn or 2 longer than some would feel comfortable with, and was definitely a risk for that last turn. But I thought I did as much as I could to make it hard for him to score back. But and then he made it. Ho hum.
Ho hum. 7 casualties though. Did they come late? Else you would have got thrashed,
No.
right?
I got 2 CAS on the first LOS, another 2 CAS on the second LOS. So that was the first half, and then another CAS on the third LOS at the beginning of the second half. No, I got absolutely murdered throughout.
Yeah, just kept chipping away. But
His
you had quite
team,
a bench, didn't you?
team has a lot of. I mean, you're talking about wishing that more teams had claw, but I think the opposite is true with his team, right? It's full of mighty blow.
Yeah, he's
I
got
think
he's got 8 mighty blow, and his last claw
Yeah.
piece died not too long ago, so he's got no blow
Yeah,
at all.
so it's basically like Norse kryptonite, that team.
Yeah, it was horrific.
Yeah,
And
so
frankly, I was very happy with how the game went, except for the 2 last turns of Ant-Man's 2 scoring tries.
we had you got away fairly lightly with only 7 CAS. I say fairly because definitely one's definitely a sacking, which is a strength bust on a rookie lineman.
Three dead linemen. They're all rookies, but strength bust, 1 armor bust, 1 niggle.
1 niggle, yeah. So you all gone?
They're sitting at the bottom of my team sheet at the moment until I see how the team looks after Stolberg. I might need to keep
Like just the phrase, I'll see what the team looks like after Stolberg doesn't instill confidence.
No.
I mean, on the bright side, Stolberg has less mighty blow.
It's true. His team is a lot less. A lot more a lot more toothless now than it was.
I mean, and also for Norse, he's got more claw. But
only 2 now.
Only 2.
Okay, great. But importantly, who bet on a draw for that one?
3 people bet on a draw.
Okay.
Which is surprising.
Which is surprising. Imagine if it had been a win, there'd only be 1 person that got a point. Anyway, and that's Broccoli, Palladius, and Galentio. Galentio is in the chat just now, by the way. He's happily talking about potatoes.
Galentio.
And congratulating Carmack for his championship win and me for not ending up in the corner position.
Okay, so that was
Nice.
Palladius and Galentio, the last 2.
Galentio and Broccoli, yeah.
Yeah, cool. Right, that's it. That's done. So I brought the table up. I'm just going to get rid of the score sheet for a second, if I can find that. There we go. Get rid of that. So I've got the table up, so we can see the results. I think I prefer the spike table, to be honest, but it's harder to get up for a moment.
Oh, and the spike table is not correct at the moment. Is that, I think?
No, the spike.
It has been corrected.
Hang on, I'll do the spike table because that's a bit better.
Yeah, the spike table is now correct. So yeah, a week or 2 ago, it was missing one.
Yeah, it was missing a game, wasn't it? So yeah, the spike table is better to look at because it's got a bit more information on it. So yeah, I mean we spoke about it loads already, but yeah, congratulations, Carmack. He cannot now be caught by second place Javelin. So 20 points with a game in hand, which is pretty good. I mean, again,
just one thing I want to say: if the last position is called the Cornight position, can the leader now be called, in the Carmack position?
We'll bring it past the lawyers and get back to you.
Short answer is no.
Well, I tried.
You tried. So well done. Well done, Carmack again. 6-2-0. Likely to be 7-2-0, I think, because I think that last one probably will be an admin, but we'll wait and see. +7 on the touchdowns, and +12 on the CAS as well. So not extreme. Other people do have more casualties caused, but a healthy amount.
I mean, it's interesting that the CAS numbers have absolutely no bearing on where you finish in the table,
not
right?
at all.
Yeah, so, the third highest CAS is bottom. So
Yeah. So really, we're playing for everyone's playing for who's going to stay up this season now. So let's have a quick look at that with 1 game left to go. So
it's only top 4, isn't it? Stay up.
Top 4 that stay up. So who can be reached? Well, only Papa can be caught really by everyone else, but he can be caught as far down as 7th, which sadly includes you, Cornight. So it's kind of must win now for the three of you. For Hogster, Ant-Man, and Corn Knight, you need to win. Jav and Davo will be Davo's dropping out for sure, but how it works at the OCC is that everyone else will.
It's another bonus promotion.
Yeah, there'll be more bonus promotions. It won't be a bonus staying up, if you know what I mean. So if you don't finish in the top 4, so 5th or lower, then you get demoted no matter what. And then in the lower leagues, in 1A and 1B, which we'll look at later, then you could get a bonus promotion, whether it goes to 1A first or 1B first. I'm not 100% sure, but there will be at least one bonus promotion. I'm guessing
it goes to the side which has the highest points.
Right.
So
okay.
I'm pretty sure that.
So Dreamland's, got his fingers crossed. I think down in where he lives, because he thinks he's on for that bonus promotion. He thinks that's his own, but he probably needs to check what the point situation is in 1A before he gets too happy with himself. So Carmack, as we know, is staying. Jav, I imagine, is probably staying as well. Davo is dropping out. I don't think I know about Papa Corn Knight. Can you check? Can you just have a quick look on the OCC while we're talking about it?
I happen to be in that thread in OCC right now, so I can have a look. And he has put 1, yes.
Yeah, I just had a look. Everyone's put
so
1
everyone's
except
put
for
1. And Dreamland's saying he's in if he wins.
Yeah. So, but if he wins, he's on. Dreamland's on 12 points, and the highest place equal to him on the other side is on 11. So he should have his own destiny, his own control.
Okay, guys, sorry, I really got to go now.
Yeah, no problem, Danton. Cheers, mate.
Yeah.
Speak later.
If anyone's watching GG Tour, I'm playing it this weekend. I don't know if any.
Oh, well done for qualifying
is playing. Thanks. I mean, I had a bit of luck, but got there with a Skaven team. So yeah, looking forward to getting knocked out in the first round.
Easy win for someone.
It's interesting. Like the Skaven team, I'm not sure how well it's going to fare against all those Necro and Wood Elves.
I think against the Wood Elves, it's not terrible. I mean, I've got the only benefit with the rule set that you could stack with the Skaven teams. I have a Mighty Blow Tackle Blitzer, which is decent against Wood Elves. Mm-hmm. But the Necro, are pretty strong. And obviously, like with so many Necro teams being entered, that's fairly evident. Yeah. But I don't know. I mean, I'm not such a fan of using the double for Mighty Blow on the Wolf. I think it's a little bit too there's too much variance with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I prefer the Necro teams that weren't like guard on a zombie just to get 5 guard pieces. But anyway, it's we'll see what happens. Skaven, I mean, there's only two Skaven teams, and Skaven, at least in this format, I have 13 players that didn't go with a Rat Ogre. So, the Skaven are always in with a chance.
Galentio, about 5 minutes ago, said, can we describe someone who complains about their team being beaten as in the Galentio mood? And then, just now, says, I don't normally complain about dice, but the GG Tour qualification weekend attempt was cursed. Now, the two things might be related.
Could be related, couldn't they? Yeah. I mean, I'm fine for that to be a mood, the Galentio mood. But yeah. So, I mean, the key game of the week then this week is
right. See you guys.
Yeah, cheers, Danton.
All right, cheers, Danton. See you.
Good luck to meet you before.
Thanks.
Is the game between 4th and 5th, which is Papanasia versus Hawks. So that's the key one really, and whoever wins that one. Or even if Papa draws that one, he's probably staying up. Well, he's definitely staying up. He can't be caught by anyone else if he draws. So that's the key game, really, for the forthcoming week. The next one is Javelin versus Davo. So that's kind of fine because they're just playing for kind of honor now or second place.
I don't think that's getting played, to be honest.
No,
it's
a dead
rubber game.
Yeah, dead rubber, doesn't matter. I mean, really, they should, both of them, Andy's going to drop this team anyway, but yeah, Jav, take no risks and yeah, just maybe stay at the back. Don't play. I mean, that's shenanigans, but understandable. Then it's you, Carmack, versus Old One, so that probably won't be played, although I know Old One's making every effort to play his games at the moment, but probably won't happen. Core Knight versus Starbug. Well, your fake Core Knight, I think, is kind of in your own hands, but you do need to win, right? And you need to better Hawkster's touchdown differential, which I think is the first tiebreak. So you need to win by at least 2.
I need Hawkster to win, which will make his touchdown differential more, and then I need to win by 3. So yeah, I don't think that's happening.
No, okay, but
I want to win anyway because I want to finish higher than 7.
Yeah, because
which was the highest record for Norse, and also coincidentally where you were.
Yeah, I finished 7th.
The one time you made a championship.
Yeah, well, my result was 414, which is I've worked out earlier is 13 points. So you need to win to beat my points total as well. So
okay, yeah, cool.
So that's, I'm sure, motivation enough. And then the last game is Ant-Man versus Spider. So kind of a dead rubber, but a dead rubber, full stop, because everyone's relegated there. I mean, Ant-Man could possibly win, but again, he needs to win by 1 more than Hawkster wins. So, yeah, a tough ask, really, I guess. So have I got that right? So Hawkster needs to beat Papanastia. If Papa draws,
do we actually think
wins,
Hawkster is going to win against Papanastia, though?
I don't know. I mean, it's a tough one, isn't it?
He's got still a very strong, pretty guardy lizard team, right?
Yeah, it's a rather tough one to play against. Honestly, he's got 2 strength 5s on it. Pretty, a smattering of guards. So it's not a foregone conclusion, that game.
Yeah, let's have a look at the teams in a bit more detail. As I say, we've got a bit more time, so we can have a quick look at these. So, where are we?
Obviously, the Orcs outguard the Lizards, but they don't outstrength them by a long way. In fact, they do have 4 Black Orcs, but no Troll, and 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 guards. So 9 guards against
5 guards, 2 strength 5 though. He's got a level to pick on Fred.
The Lizards have 3 strength 5.
Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot the Crocs, but he hasn't got block, so it's less effective. But I mean, Fred might have strength 5. He's not picked his level yet. He's the one to come. I mean, what do you go for on a normal with this guy?
Stand firm, mighty blow.
I mean, mighty blow or stand firm, I think, is good choices.
If he wins, does he stay in the league?
Yeah.
Then mighty blow, probably. Mighty blow.
Yeah. I'll probably tend towards mighty blow anyway. I think that's
just erase those Orcs.
Yeah.
Erase them. Mighty blow.
Someone's got to. So that's
Mighty blow doesn't tend to work very well against Armor 9.
Well, but it gives you a better chance, doesn't it?
I prefer stand firm. I think a second stand firm would actually do this team better.
Yeah.
Rather than anything else.
Okay, 1930 to 2160 Core Knight, so I'll let you do the maths on inducements. But bearing in mind he's got a level to pick as well. But this is the Orc team. I mean, they're a great Orc team. I mean, they're horrendous, awful, very bashy. They have got just, I think, 1 rookie Black Orc, but that, I mean, he's had hardly any losses all season, which is a bit surprising, perhaps, with at least 2 Claw teams. Well, 3 really, if you count the Necro as well. To be honest, so yeah, I mean, it's a solid team. We know he's a solid coach. They've got Mr. Throw, who's quite good actually, as it goes, and he does use him to throw. So
yeah, I'm not of the. I don't hate the Mr. Throw. I'm not sure about safe throw on him, but basically he's in a long league team where you do have enough players to sit him on the bench. He basically just sits on the bench for the Orcs drives until the Orcs offensive drives, right? And then he helps get the ball upfield to one of the Agi 4. So it's not, I know there's the Mr. Throw hatred, but he does his job, and I quite like that. Ensuring they always have a leader reroll for their offensive drives as well.
Yeah, and it comes in handy. 4 re-rolls on this team is pretty scary because you know they're going on blocks. But yeah. It's a scary team. I mean, you say that, Dreamland, but then, you know, if you look at his stats, I mean, he's only lost, I'm sure it's less than 5, 6 games. So.
I've gone for Hogster. I think Hogster can do it, even though that now looking at those stats makes me unhappy.
Well, Papa was actually felt easier to play against than I thought he would be. But then in the rest of I played him first or second game of the season, something like that. And I found him to be slightly easier to play against than I thought he would be based on the stats and based on the team that he's got.
Yeah.
But then he's just delivered results, and it wasn't terribly random. So his resurgence has been quite impressive.
Yeah, he's not. Let's say he's not a flashy player. He's pretty much line up orcs, punch, and that happens to be a pretty effective way of winning games. You know.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly worked so far. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be an interesting game, and I mean, it's the only really important game this week that coming up on the whole of the card, really, because the rest don't really matter.
Also, does get a wizard, by the way, and has an agi form, you know, movement up skink. So
yeah, so it's possible.
He has outs.
Okay, that's the first one. The next one, we might as well have a look at the teams for all of these now. Is again Javelin versus Andy. So again, this is for second place really, but it's not, you know, it's not that important a game. As we were saying before, Javelin should just take it easy, really, not really go aggressive. If Andy plays, I think his heart's not in it at all, so he might not even play this game. So I think I'll bet on Javelin because I know mentally he would want to win probably more than Andy. Andy just wants to play the last game and get it out of the way. If indeed he does play it, I'm not sure he'll even play it as he's dropping, to be honest. So he might fill his schedule up. But again, he might not. He might want to go out on a blaze of glory and attempt an 8-0 win. Or something.
I think they've already scheduled it. I think.
Oh right, okay, fair enough.
Javelin said Tuesday at his normal time, and Andy said perfect.
Yeah, fine, okay. Shows what I'm talking about. But I mean, yeah, there's not enough here, I don't think, to beat Javelin's team, who's quite well developed, with the newly minted AG4 Wolf as well. That will probably die first game with the failure of regen, but still.
It'll be interesting to see, assuming that Andy does, because he didn't stream against me, so I don't know if he's maybe not feeling like streaming it. If he doesn't stream on that,
I mean, he streamed. I mean, he might have had stuff going on. You don't know, do you? But he streamed last night, didn't he? So
yeah, true.
I thought he was pretty pissy by the end of it, but perhaps understandably.
Yeah, it sucks when you play Blood Bowl and it's.
Yeah, I mean, pissy is probably too strong. He was just resigned, I'd say. It's like, oh, okay. Do you know what I mean? You know when you feel like that with this bloody game.
I think Andy's mindset has improved immensely in the what is it, 5 years I've been watching him play from being actively pissy about bad dice to being actually pretty good at taking
fatalistic. And then the next one, okay. Well, I'm gonna bet. I bet on Javelin already for that one, so that's fine. I think it'll work.
I still think Andy could win it. Yeah.
And Carmack, who would you bet on? If you remember.
Which game? Sorry.
So this is Javelin versus Andy Davo.
Well, I'm not expecting Andy to play it, so Javelin gets the win. I bet on the Javelin's win.
Sure. All right, next one is perhaps your game that we won't expect to play. So Sabretooth Vag 1.0 versus Birmingham.
Vagabonds.
So yeah, we looked at your team. Dishonest Shell is about to level, and then this Dark Elf team, which isn't in a bad shape to be honest, just obviously not been played. It's looking like this. I mean, this could have been a tough game really, if it happens. But it's AG5 more. I mean, that's the tricky thing. But I mean, what would you, if you don't mind saying, Carmack, what's your strategy for dealing with a team like this, or is it under your hat?
Hold on a second. Let me see my my notes, so I can already tell you.
Brilliant.
Am I?
Plenty
Not
else,
muted.
says
Okay.
Streamland.
Yeah, I beat him on strength and on basically the ability to kill.
Mm-hmm.
What I marked is he's got guard and he's got mobility on his side. So he's got 3 guard pieces, which is for elves a lot, and he's got mobility. So essentially, what I want is to force the opponent to score quickly, because I don't terribly care if they score or not, as long as they score and give me like 3 turns to score at least.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then just remove this team off the face of the planet, as any self-respecting bash coach would.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah, for me, it's like the fact that the guard is all on players who aren't fully protected yet. So there's one guard lineman who's got no protection skills. There's a strength guard lineman who's also got no protection skills, and there's another guard lineman who's got dodge but no block. So they're both the strong points and the weak points of the team for me.
He's got a niggle as well. That
one thing I have to say is last season when I was in Division 1, I decided, hey, I'm going to be honorable to the rest of the league and I'm going to play my best and try not to have any defeats. And I lost, I think I lost a wrestle tackle 2 heads goat because of that approach. Rather than just doing what, let's say, a Jimmy Fantastic would do, is basically backline everyone and minimize...
Run away for 16 turns.
Yeah, minimize any fights. That was a mistake, so maybe this game will turn out to be, a project kind of game, if it does happen, a project kind of game where I try to level specific players and I try to protect specific players as well.
Yeah,
sensible.
Sensible. I mean, yeah, your goats could do with some points, couldn't they? I mean, you've got Whirly Mantle. What would you have called Whirly Mantle, or do you just name them randomly from a list?
They are people from work,
Right.
and I give them an attribute that I associate with them. We have multiple Adrians, so I'm not gonna, if somebody from work is watching this, which they probably don't, but
multiple Adrians, so you're safe.
Yeah, so
with that one.
Yeah, I'm kind of safe. Yeah.
Okay. That's a nice.
I'm more concerned about dishonest Chell than stupid Adrian, but fine.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, Willie Mantle's just got one.
Poor senile Stefan, Jesus. Anyway.
Poor Stefan. He does his best to Stefan. All right, you leave him alone.
He does. He's no longer with the company.
Oh,
I'm concerned as to how that went.
Oh my god. Anyway, that's the next game. Next one is your game, Core Knight, against the Deathbringers. You got to win, man. That's what you need to do. And do you know what? Because I'm so charitable, I've even bet on you to win this week.
Wow, and that's not because Starberg's lost every game this season, and I've done all right.
Yeah. Dreamland says, has Senile forgotten his last name already, gone to live on the farm you can't visit? I guess he probably has. All right, Cormac, your team is looking surprisingly full of players, although obviously those last 3 at the bottom are big question mark over them. But apart from them, you have got 11, so that's good.
Those 3 on the bus to the slaughterhouse.
Yeah.
The 11 are an okay starting Norse team.
Yeah. Maybe not.
How
many games are you in now? 150 odd, something. 660 maybe?
Yeah, 170, but yeah, close enough.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, okay. And you're playing Starberg's tryhard chaos.
Literally 170, in fact.
Yeah. And again, Starberg's team on paper aren't awful. I'm surprised he's bottom, but I think I saw a game when he was not complaining, that's probably a strong word, but bemoaning his dice not removing enough. But as we've said multiple times, as a chaos coach, if you can't get the removals in, then you do absolutely need a plan B. You can't just rely on that. And maybe Starberg's relied on removals a bit too much. in his
I
game.
mean, it's interesting that when his team had a ridiculous Agi5 throwing goat,
Yeah, they played better. I think I'd argue they played better as
they
an
did really
AG5
well.
coach. Yeah,
and
AG5
then
goats.
when the badness to in inverted commas was removed and they became a real kill team, they definitely became more killy, but they didn't become more winny. That's for sure.
Nice. Javelin also says, who removed so many of my players but paid no attention to the ball. And yeah, that's it, man. You need to, it's fine to have a meme team, and it's fine to have a meme team in the champs, but then you don't expect to finish other than bottom, which he isn't. So maybe he didn't. I don't know. It's complicated, but yeah.
Also, this team is looking pretty beaten up, right? So the move up, move down is just pure bloat. The move down on a player who really needs movement, the Saka, is really bad. The niggle on the mighty blow is for me an instant firing.
Yeah.
So
fancy your chances.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, basically. A bit of luck and some annoying choices that the opponent doesn't think of. And I think I've got pretty good opportunities.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm definitely going to stomp on anything that piles on. Let's put it that way.
Well, and yeah, I mean, your only chance to stay up as well is a win. So yeah, you really got to go for it, really. Unless they play early, unless.
I mean, I think it's safe to say that I'm not staying up. But
yeah, do we know when Brilliant Green and Scalemates are playing? Or you could have a look at that. I mean, if that's early on, then that could change everyone's attitude to this last game week, couldn't it? But and then the last game on the card while you're looking at is Spider versus Ant-Man. So this will almost definitely be a draw, and I think that's what I bet on. Spider's team is looking like this at the moment, so it's unchanged apart from a death of a Saurus and a skink who's died. Javelin saying, I think he killed 2 of his players this week, even though the cash differential was big the other way. Just lucky. Yeah.
Yeah, you killed more important players, and he removed zombies, which obviously is
how did he kill his own killer? Yeah, that was quite a big removal. Was that on a go for it or a dodge?
Oh yeah, no. He was doing something like a GFI blitz or something, and he snaked it.
God, he snaked
into. Carmack might have told me about that one actually. Blitz GFI failed and reroll. Yeah.
Oh God, that's awful.
Oh yeah. So he GFI failed, used the reroll on the GFI, and then double skulled on the blitz. Yeah.
Into armor break and then dead. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cheers, Nuffle. So yeah. So anyway, on the ball carrier. Oh, even worse. I mean, why would you GFI on a ball carrier with the blitz?
I guess if you had to. The killer was blitzing the ball carrier.
Oh, the kits. Oh, right. Sorry, it wasn't a ball carrier.
I'm assuming that's what that means, right? Yeah.
Well, I assume so. Yeah, his ball carrier. Yeah. Well, I suppose that's valid. I'd always GFI to get hit on the ball, and presumably that would have been a 2-die as well. Yeah. So that's fine. So Spider's down a Saurus. He's only got 40k in the bank. He can't really afford. He definitely can't afford to replace him. Otherwise, more, as I said before, more or less unchanged apart from those 2 deaths last week. But no one important died. We should probably say, and he is playing Ant-Man's. Horrible Chorf team, who was also definitely relegated. That's again pretty much unchanged as well since the last time we looked at that. And he's got another 50k in the bank. So Spider will get some inducement, but not perhaps as many as he thinks, unless Ant-Man's somehow going to stick on to that.
I really hope Ant-Man does not stay up.
Yeah, I don't think he will because of the other game going on, but yeah.
Yeah, in the same way that I need to win by more than Hogster, so does Ant-Man. So he needs more than a win to stay up.
I want to be the bully next season.
Yeah.
Oh, but looking at the teams that are coming up, it's looking quite likely.
Yeah, it is. Are you free later, Core Night? Because I've got a dash now. But
yeah, sure. Yeah.
all right, we might do another one later on.
Oh, actually, yeah.
Oh well, we'll see. If not, we could possibly do it tomorrow. But
Yeah.
that's fine. Congratulations again, Carmack. Well done. Good to be seeing you as the bully next season. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'll try and segment this a lot, although I say that every time and never get around to it. But I think there was some clear marks here. I should be able to chop it up into and post online. But yeah, good luck in your final games this week. And yeah, hope you all select one, and we see you next season. But you know, real life's important as well. Core Night, who else is on?
Cheers, guys.
Yeah, cheers, Carl.
guys.
Thank you again.
Okay, so we have Fanjo, Muppet Pac-Man, Purple Chest, or Eliod.
Oh, PC.
Okay. Have we actually raided PC ever before?
I'm not sure.
It does mean we have to listen to that. God, what is that?
That's kind of why I've done it, because I know you don't like the raid music that he has. Because I don't have to listen to it because I'm gonna.
It's James or something, isn't it? It's Oh Sit Down or it's someone. No, who is it?
Isn't it? It's not. It's some rock anthem, isn't it?
Oh wait, no, yeah. I like the purple, the song, the purple song he plays. It's just the raid music. I think bugs me, but I might be misremembering. I don't know. Oh well. You ready?
I'm ready.
Say goodbye.
Bye, everyone.
Goodbye.
All right, click the button.
Okay.